After 15 years of delays, political clashes, and a $5 million annual budget shortfall, the Pittsburgh Penguins land development saga has reached a boiling point. Here's the twist. A hard deadline looms this October, and the city is ready to take back land it once handed over to the NHL team in exchange for promises of revitalization. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this a failed partnership or a shrewd real estate play? Let's break it down. The story begins in 2010, when the PPG Paints Arena opened, saving the Penguins from a potential relocation. But the road to this arena was bumpy. State officials sparked outrage by awarding a gambling license to a Northside development group, instead of one committed to building a new hockey venue. Eventually, the Penguins secured the arena, but with a catch. They also inherited control of surrounding land in downtown Pittsburgh and the Hill District. This land, owned by the Stadium and Exhibition Authority, SEA, and the Urban Redevelopment Authority, URA, came with a contractual obligation to develop it. Fast forward to 2025, and the Penguins are facing a reckoning. The flashpoint, October 22nd. That's the date the Penguins must submit detailed plans and timelines for the remaining undeveloped parcels. Miss it, and the SEA and URA can repossess the land. But the Penguins have options. They can pay $126,000 per month to extend the deadline until 2027, or risk losing the land altogether. Local leaders, however, are growing impatient. State Senator Wayne Fontana, a voting member of the SEA, summed it up bluntly. We're fed up. With the lack of progress, we need to consider if they really want the land or are using it for the sale. So where do we stand? The Penguins have completed 2 major projects, the First National Bank Tower and the Live Nation concert venue. Both started before the deadlines. These developments will stay in their control, but the remaining land, which could be worth hundreds of millions once developed, is a ticking time bomb. Sources suggest the SEA needs this revenue to offset rising maintenance costs for Pittsburgh's aging stadiums, including PNC Park and Acrisure Stadium. In fact, earlier this year, the Penguins spent over $421,000 on a new server room alone, highlighting the financial pressures at play. The controversy deepens with the pending sale of the Penguins to the Hoffman Family of Companies. Will the Hoffmans prioritize development, or will the land remain a bargaining chip? The Hoffmans' real estate divisions could play a role, but there's no guarantee. Meanwhile, the Penguins have asked for an extension, but the SEA hasn't received a formal response from Fenway Sports Group, FSG, the current owners. Only one SEA meeting remains before the deadline, and time is running out. And this is the part most people miss. The agreements allowed the Penguins to speculate on the land's value without mandatory obligations to build affordable housing or commercial spaces. Critics argue this loophole lets the team profit from real estate while the city shoulders the costs. Supporters counter that the Penguins have delivered some progress, even if slowly. The question is, who's right? And what happens if the Penguins walk away from the land entirely? The stakes are high. If the Penguins fail to meet the deadline, the SEA could seize the land, triggering a valuation process that might reshape the sale to the Hoffmans. For Pittsburgh residents, this isn't just about hockey. It's about equity, accountability, and the future of a neighborhood. So what's your take? Should the Penguins be forced to hand back the land, or is patience still the better strategy? Share your thoughts below and let's spark a real conversation.